Today on Padawan Shenanigans, we're plunging into the shadowy depths of the Sith, the darkest-sized, most notorious disciples and the eternal nemesis of the Jedi Order. Their saga is etched into the very fabric of the Star Wars galaxy, and today, we're going over the 10 key events of Sith history. So ignite your lightsabers and let's go. Number 1. The 100-Year Darkness. The Sith Order was founded when Ajunta Pall was cast out of the Jedi Order for embracing the dark side of the Force, specifically alchemy. He did, however, rally others to his cause, leading to the creation of the Sith Order. This separation from the Jedi Order led the Sith to experiment with their newfound Force powers on other life forms to create new species and predators. The Sith used these creatures to wage war on the Jedi, and thus created the 100-Year War. Number 2. The Great Hyperspace War. The ancient Sith were building up their forces on the planet Korriban at the same time as the Galactic Republic. Unbeknownst to each other, they only discovered each other when two pilots took a chance on discovering a new hyperspace lane, and just so happened to land at the Sith planet Korriban. This led to the Sith wanting to expand their empire. The Sith moved quickly, and with surprise attacks, took over many planets in the Republic. In the end, however, the Sith do what the Sith do, and they quickly grew too ambitious, turning on each other and leaving themselves open for attack from the Jedi and Republic. The Sith were ultimately defeated and scattered throughout the galaxy to rebuild and seek revenge. Number 3. The Sith Triumvirate. The Sith Triumvirate was a reconstruction of Sith power, where in the past there had been one leader. The Sith Triumvirate consisted of 3 Sith Lords who complemented each other's strengths and compensated for their weaknesses. This balance of power and cooperation was uncommon among Sith. Usually known for betrayal and internal conflicts, this dynamic worked well, as Darth Nihilus could consume entire planets, Darth Sion was nearly indestructible, and Darth Krayt delved deeper into the Force than any other Sith leader in history. But just like all Sith factions before them, their internal conflicts and betrayals ultimately led to their defeat and the dispersal of their followers. The Sith Triumvirate was a pivotal period in Sith history, characterized by philosophy evolution, strategic cooperation, innovative use of the Force, and far-reaching consequences that left a lasting impact on the galaxy and the Sith Order. Number 4. The Great Scourge of Malakor. Roughly 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, the Great Scourge of Malakor was a monumental clash between the Jedi Order and the Sith Empire on the desolate planet of Malakor. Darth Cidus, a prominent figure within the Sith ranks, integrated a superweapon atop the Sith temple powered by a giant kyber crystal. The Jedi got wind of the superweapon and attacked the Sith temple before it could be unleashed. The ensuing battle set off the weapon, but it either malfunctioned or was damaged enough to not fire correctly. Instead, it scorched the surface, killing both the Jedi and Sith alike, and preserving them in ash. Tales of the battle served as a cautionary tale and forewarning for Jedi initiates, emphasizing the dangers of succumbing to the lure of the dark side and the catastrophic consequences of unchecked power. Years later, during the reign of Darth Cidus and the training of Darth Maul, Sidious brought Maul to the remnants of Malakor. Here, amidst the echoes of past conflicts, Sidious subjected Maul to inhale the ash left behind by the superweapon. Breathing in the ashes of fallen Sith warriors, Maul experienced haunting visions of the Jedi's merciless victory over legions of Sith warriors, a grim reminder of the Sith's tumultuous history. Number 5. Darth Bane and the Rule of Two. The Sith reached the height of their power in 1032 BBY, but their greed caused them to turn on each other and be defeated by the Jedi. Darth Bane was the last survivor, but rather than rebuild the Sith to their former numbers, he went into hiding and created the Rule of Two. This doctrine stated that there could only be one master to embody the power and one apprentice to crave it. The Sith would operate from the shadows and corrupt the Republic from within, waiting for the right moment to destroy the Jedi and take over the galaxy. Number 6. The Rise of Palpatine. A millennium after the supposed end of the Sith, Darth Plagueis and his apprentice Darth Cidus began finalizing the final pieces of Darth Bane's plan. Sidious, who also was known as a Senator Palpatine of Naboo, orchestrated a crisis on his home world to demonstrate the corruption and ineffectiveness of the Republic. He used this to manipulate the Senate and Jedi Order into electing him as Supreme Chancellor. This new position allowed him to play both sides of the war, ultimately setting the Sith up for a complete takeover. Number 7. The Clone Wars have begun. Palpatine, alongside his newly appointed apprentice, Count Dooku, orchestrated the Clone Wars and manipulated both factions during the Clone Wars. Dooku's leadership of a new government provided him leeway to further the Sith's long-term goals. Concurrently, the Republic Senate granted Palpatine with expanded emergency powers to defeat the Separatist forces. The conflict took a heavy toll on the Jedi, who suffered numerous casualties and slowly drifted from the peacekeeping ideals. Despite the Republic's triumph in the Clone Wars, Palpatine had already laid the groundwork for the Jedi's downfall. Number 8. Darth Vader's betrayal. Following the demise of Count Dooku, Anakin Skywalker was swayed to embrace the dark side by Palpatine. Subsequently, Palpatine enacted Order 66, which mandated all clones to deem the Jedi as traitors and execute them, effectively decimating the Jedi Order swiftly. In the absence of the Jedi, and with the clone army under his dominion, Palpatine transformed the Republic into the Galactic Empire. For the ensuing 19 years, the Empire maintained the Republic's framework, while developing a colossal weapon known as the Death Star. This weapon was intended to grant Palpatine the power to dissolve the Senate and seize total control. Nonetheless, the Death Star met its end at the hands of Luke Skywalker, igniting a conflict across the galaxy between the Rebel Alliance and the Empire. The Galactic Civil War reached its end during the Battle of Endor, where Vader found redemption by rescuing his son and eliminating his master. Vader's sacrifice, though it claimed his life, led to Palpatine's downfall, re-established equilibrium in the Force, and accomplished the Chosen One's prophecy. With the Sith vanquished, Luke embarked on establishing a new Jedi Order as the galaxy ushered in the New Republic. Number 9. The Birth of Rey. In a twist hidden from the galaxy, Palpatine invaded death by shifting his essence into a clone. However, this new form started deteriorating. In his quest for a durable clone to sustain his immense dark powers, he produced several, including Dathan. Dathan, deemed a disappointment by Palpatine for his absence of Force abilities, fled Exegol, found love, and fathered a daughter named Rey. Intent on using Rey as his new host, Palpatine pursued her, believing he had finally ensured the end of the Jedi by demanding Rey strike him down so his spirit could pass into her. Rey, alongside Ben Solo, resisted, but Palpatine harnessed the Force Dyad's power to rejuvenate himself and attack the Resistance fleet. However, Rey, backed by the legacy of all preceding Jedi, vanquished Palpatine, ending the 5,000-year-long Jedi-Sith conflict and heralding a fresh start in the Star Wars universe. Number 10. Sith Immortality. This last event is less of an event and more of an idea of the Sith. From the time of the 100-Year War to the conversations between Anakin and Sidious about Darth Plagueis the Wise, the Sith were obsessed with immortality and manipulating life. We see Palpatine create clones to transfer his spirit into, Darth Plagueis obsessively tried to create life, and Darth Vader was seduced to the dark side to save the ones he loved from death. The Sith even used Force siphoning to live well past their expiration date. The Jedi, however, found the secret to immortality by becoming a Force ghost. It seems the one thing the Sith tried so hard to accomplish is the one thing they can't have, and the one thing the Jedi can do. I hope you enjoyed today's video on the 10 most important events in the Sith Order. Let me know what you thought of the video, and please share what other events you think were important, as there are definitely more than just 10. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more great Star Wars videos. And please think about donating a small amount in the link in the description so we can keep producing these great videos. Until next time, may the Force be with you and catch you on the flip side.